when we came in Sunday night, we drew a bit of a line in the sand, and we need to prepare as best we can this week for it's going to be a very tough test against Scotland.
For you, what's I suppose, been personally for yourself the one of your main work-ons? Like it must have been hard really coming off the bench and trying to have a direct impact on the game, when you were down by so much.
Yeah, it's always tougher, I suppose, coming on when you're chasing a game. But it's more about the collective. It's about us improving as a team where we need to. We did a very good review in attack and D of areas we weren't up to scrapping, and it's about getting better at those areas and make sure we're ready to go and more accurate at the weekend.
Dave, when you were on the bench and you were kind of like seeing the match unfold, what was your kind of summation of the situation? Where did you see where Ireland was going wrong?
Look, obviously we had a bit of a slow start, and against a top quality side like England, you can't afford to start slow. They won a lot of the physical confrontations, and I thought they were very good in the air. So we've, in that alone, there's lots of work-ons there for the team this week. That was my summation.
And Ty was just in here and he was just saying that Ireland needs to be more accurate this week, and that was kind of one of the learnings from the review session. What kind of areas do you need to be more accurate in? Yeah, definitely
more accurate, I suppose. More accurate. I think just generally in the air, in our physical collisions, in accurate how we start. Our plays. Just need a more accurate performance.
Is there a difference in the mood and trying to find out the body language of players think like?
Yeah, look, it was the first time that Irish team was lost in quite a while, so obviously it was quite a somber, down mood after the game, and but at the same time, you have the luxury in rugby that you have a very quick turnaround, and we were honest with ourselves, but at the same time, you got to dust yourself down quickly and prepare for Scotland. So we did have a review, but now it's all preparing for Scotland.
Joe mentioned the word bullied after the game at the weekend. Like, how desperate are you as a pack, as a collective, not to get bullied again this weekend?
Yeah, if you look back at the Irish performances for quite some time, you look at those New Zealand performances. You could go back to all the Grand Slam last year. It's been quite a while since I think that Irish pack has been bullied, and if it's up to the pack to set out their stall this week and give a response.
What's it like having Billy Holland?
Great, yeah. Billy brings a wealth of experience. He's ultimate pro. How he just stepped in today already. He had the line out humming like he does down in Munster. And he, it was a late phone call. He comes in and he's his detail nailed off probably quicker than anyone. He's the ideal candidate to bring in.
What's been the main message from the coaches this week, Dave?
As Sinead alluded to there, I suppose maybe we did get a bit bullied, and we had a slow start. So I think it's about winning those physical confrontations and starting really well.
How do you go about fixing that?
Starting really well, I suppose, and trying to be the bullier and not the bullied.
And what did you make of Scotland at the weekend against Italy?
Thought they were very good, yeah. I think Scotland are going very well. They've beaten Italy, Fiji. They had a narrow loss to South Africa, who are going well in November. And you look at this, their domestic league. You'll see how well Edinburgh are going in Glasgow, and I think they're both still competing in the Heineken Cup, and they're going very well in their league, and I think they'll bring a real want for silverware into this international campaign, and they're going to be a very good side on Saturday, especially at home.
Dave, how important is it to win this game for this tournament and be looking further down the road towards Japan?
Massively important, you need to get back competing for this tournament. I don't think we're really looking at Japan, to be honest. It's about beating Scotland this week and trying to get back into this competition as best we can.
Do you not carry bragging rights or anything like that forward? If you'd beaten England, that would carry through?
I don't think any team in World Rugby really going into the World Cup should be bringing bragging rights. It's too fierce a competition, the Six Nations, and I wouldn't be looking at that in that type of regard.
Even after you leave Ireland camp, you'll have to face up a lot of these Edinburgh lads again. back in Murrayfield.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we'll be looking at the players for them, and that might help you with Munster. But look, that's way down the line. There's so much rugby to be played between now and then, and we're firmly just focused on Saturday. That's all our focus is completely on just giving that real accurate, better Irish performance on Saturday.
Dave, I think it's 6 years since your last Six Nations appearance. What was it like to get on, and were you confident last week that you'd make the matchday 23?
I was very happy with my form coming in, but I wouldn't never take a place for granted or be confident. That's completely out of my hands. I was just controlling everything I could control in my own performances, and obviously it's bittersweet. You're delighted to be back in the mix, but losing to England in such a big game, really soured it, I suppose. So it's about, you want to be back in on an Irish winning side, and unfortunately last week we came out the wrong result, but hopefully this week we can rewrite that.
Depending on the results, obviously Ireland can still win the title, but how important is it that you aren't caught, I suppose, looking over your shoulder, looking behind you, what else is going on?
I think that's the beauty of this group. I don't think they tend to look behind them. We look forward, we look at ourselves and we look forward, and as I said, you're not going to be worried and you hear about place in the competition. It's about getting a win in Scotland, and then we take it from there. So I don't really look at groups. I don't look at where we are or who's behind us or in front of us. We've one game to focus on Saturday, and I think you can get lost in the competition and your performance can suffer if you start looking like that. So it's about fixing the wrongs maybe from last week and a few areas we need to improve on, and delivering this week.
Is there pressure, given that there's, I suppose this is the first of 2 away games before you're back at the Aviva, and that's France then when you get home looking to, I suppose, avenge last year?
I think there's always, it's Six Nations game for Ireland. It's going to be massive pressure.
Has there been much talk about Murrayfield? Because Irish teams have gone there and struggled in the past.
It's an incredible stadium, and the Scottish are real proud supporters. They're quite like the Irish. They're really rallying behind their team, and it's an extremely hard place to go and get a win. They'll have a whole country behind them, so it's going to be a very tough test.
Because I think you played in that game in 2013, didn't you, before Joe arrived? And that was a tough day for Irish rugby. What do you remember?
Yeah, very tough day. Yeah. I suppose it was a very bad day for Irish rugby, and hopefully better memories this week.
Luke said it's obviously a position where there's a lot of options for the coaching staff. Do you feel, you already alluded to it, but this year have you seen a significant improvement in one particular area? For Munster, just watch it to this stage now.
I think it's just consistency of performance. It is very hotly contested area, and I suppose in a way it's tough on the players, but I like that competition. I think it brings the best out in everyone, and if you want to be winning these kind of games, you need everyone firing on all cylinders. So it's a great headache for the coaches to have. The more competitive, the better. I relish the competition, and I think it brings the best out in me, and it brings the best out in everyone else. You've Keane, world class player. Jack. You've a lot of lads there who are, even James down below, and Jeremy Loughman. There's loose heads, Dennis Buckley and Connacht. Eric O'Sullivan up in Ulster. I could keep going on. Or Ed Byrne. There's huge competition to loose head right throughout the country, and you really have to be on the top of your game to be getting games.
Does it make it difficult when you're watching previous Six Nations campaigns? Seeing those guys in positions, when you can only you're outside the squad.
You could say difficult or just hungry. It made me incredibly hungry anyway. You want to be part of a winning Irish team, and an Irish team full stop. It's the highest accolade, I suppose, international rugby, and you want to be playing it. So, it created, I suppose, extreme hunger, and you relish on that.